Good morning, Sava here from Sava Talks Football. Happy Wednesday to you. It's the morning after the Champions League success the night before. Where to begin? I have titled my daily thought Health Warning and shouting it at you because 40 years of supporting Tottenham Hotspur and I need health checks. This club, nothing is ever done easy. Nothing is ever done quickly. Nothing is ever done in a kind of logical way. It needs a health warning. So we managed to get through the Champions League. It was touch and go for a lot of the night. At one point we were out. At one point we were second. At one point we were top. It was crazy to say the least. Where to begin? Let's start at the beginning of the game. Again, 45-minute FC made their appearance, didn't they? I think the Spurs players should have their wages halved. I kid, of course. I jest. But, I mean, the first halves of games, just shocking. What is happening to us? What do we do in these first halves of games? Why are we unable to play good football or to attack teams in the first half of games, but we're able to at half time? I've heard many theories conserving energy. We can only play when we go a goal down. Conte wants them to do this. Conte doesn't want them to do this. All I know is we may as well not watch first halves of games because, again, the first half last night was, to say mediocre would be, I think that would be polite. I think it was absolutely god-awful. I think it was like watching a Nuno team play football. And I, like many others, feared the worst. I genuinely couldn't see how we were going to score goals and go through in this Champions League group. But I actually feel that, and people are going to, again, people are going to have a go at me for this, but I actually feel that when Son went off, I actually felt that we became a better team. Maybe not so towards the end of the first half, but certainly in the second half, I felt that there was a bit more structure to the way we played. I felt that having three men in midfield, again, allowed us to counter better. It allowed us to have more energy in the middle of the park. It allowed us to break things up. And more importantly than any of that, what it allowed us to do was Højbjerg and Bentancur to join in the counterattacks, to attack, to press. So all these YouTube channels and these fans that will tell you, 3-5-2, listen, if played properly, a 3-5-2 allows you to play well on the counter-attack. With a 3-4-3, it's more difficult because we have zero control of the ball in the middle of the park. Now, saying that, I don't think we were great second half. I think people are going overboard because we won. It was great. We won. Brilliant. Really happy. We've now managed to avoid a top-place team, and we get to have the second leg of the Champions League last 16 game at White Hart Lane. And no, I will always call it White Hart Lane, okay? Always will. Always have, always will. So really positive there. I thought we did some really good things on the counter-attack. I thought that Emerson Royal was decent. I'll be honest, I think people are going well overboard purely because he's normally awful. But I felt that we hung on in there. We rode our luck at times. We could have nicked it with Højbjerg smashing the bar. They should have nicked it. The header from Kolasinac, and thank you, Kolasinac, for missing that, because had that goal have gone in, the whole mood, the whole temperature of the club and the fan base completely changes. But we got the job done, and we're now seeing a pattern of Tottenham Hotspur. This is who we are. We are a team that in the first half doesn't wake up, doesn't play, doesn't come for a win. We're a team in the first half that looks lethargic. We're a team in the first half that looks like they've had no instruction. Now, I'm not saying they haven't before you ever go at me about Conte, but they look like a team that's had no instruction. They get in at half-time, and we come out in second half of games, and all of a sudden you think, okay, I understand what we're trying to do. So the big question asked, and I asked this on my show last night, who is at fault for those first halves? Is it, and I'm just asking a question, before anyone says, oh, you're Conte out. No, not Conte out. I want to see more of what we did second half against Bournemouth, second half against Sporting, second half against Wolves, second half against Chelsea, second half last night, second half against Frank. This is what I want to see from Conte. Unleash the players a little bit. No more excuses that these players aren't capable of playing any football at all, because they are. This is, for me, when fans say that, and lots of people I've YouTubed with will say, well, he's not got the players to play any type of football. For me, that's a defense mechanism against the crap that we watch at times. For me, it's a counterproductive argument when in second halves of games we do start playing football. So we can see that they can play. Now, am I expecting us to go and dominate games? No, I'm not expecting us to dominate every game we play. But what was worrying in that first half again is how we made Marseille look like Real Madrid. And luckily for us, Marseille, they don't have great finishers. But, I mean, depending on which app you use, last night's game in the first half, we had 29 to 32% possession. Can't do that. You can't have that in the Champions League. Second half, we had 45%, which was better. More counter-attacking style football, what you would expect possession-wise. But let's fast forward this to some good news, some positive news. We got the win. It was good that we were holding on and about to go through, but the difference in being able to have that second leg at home is huge. The difference in calibre, in some cases, can be huge. So fair play to the boys. They dug in. They got the job done. And that was just like, I'm not really a screamer. I'm not really a shouter. I don't do that. I know some fans seem to be annoyed with the way that I don't go crazy when we celebrate goals. Like those idiots you see on Instagram and Twitter that film themselves when a goal goes in. And you think, why are you filming yourself and not watching the game? Baffling to me. But some people have a go at me because of that. But for me, a lot of the time when I'm watching football like this, it's more a relief. When we're playing great football like we were under Poch, it's easier to celebrate because you're thinking, that was brilliant. That was sublime. At the moment, I'm just like, phew, we got over the line. That was relief. So all in all, very, very well done to the boys from the second half for coming through that. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the prettiest. But again, I thought when some went off, I thought the link-up play with Moura and Kane actually looked a lot better than we've seen this season with Son and Kane. Now, that's not to say that we know the link-up. We know they've got the most combined goals ever in the Premier League. I'm talking about this moment in time. It looked, I don't know, Lucas looked energetic. It looked like he wanted to get involved. Now, for no moment am I suggesting that Lucas Moura should be at this club beyond this season. At all. But I can't fault him for his efforts last night, for getting involved, for running the channels, for driving forward when he had the ball. And fair play to Kane. I thought Kane was absolutely fantastic in that second half. In the first half, nothing stuck. It was one of those ones where if the team's playing badly, Kane's playing badly. And then when the team's playing well, Kane's playing well. First half, everything was bouncing off him. I thought last night in the second half, he held the ball up brilliantly. He won some clever fouls. His touch was better. Some of his passing was really good. He was bleeding for the cause, quite literally. I thought Kane looked brilliant. And a special mention for, I thought the first half, all of them were poor. So I can't single anyone out. But in the second half, Bentancur. And again, this is what frustrates me. When people tell me we've not got the players to go and press, to go and play well, Bentancur proves that wrong in the last 3 or 4 games. I thought he was the difference in the second half against Sporting Lisbon. He was the difference when he came on against Bournemouth. He was the difference last night. Get him up the pitch. We've seen what he can do. He can press, he can tackle, he can break down play, he can pass. Get him further up the pitch. So for me, let me round, and Højbjerg as well, I must mention that again, grabbing another goal. For me, I'm going to say it. The debate may start. I would have Højbjerg as captain. I don't think he's the greatest footballer I've ever seen, but his heart, his passion, his leadership, he's always available to play, his work rate. And when he comes off the pitch, even if he's not had a good game, you know he's given his all. For me, he would be my captain, and he's had a great start to this season. Let's also a little mention for our set-piece coach. I've never seen Spurs score as many set-piece goals in a season. So fair play to the set-piece coach. Without you, I don't know where we would be. Thank you. So all in all, great that we got through to the next round. Now, let's shift some of that pressure now from Conte to Levy and Enoch. We're going into January. We're going into the Champions League knockout stages. Hopefully, we're going into January in the top 4. Obviously, there's 3 or 4 Premier League games before that. And we could possibly be going in the next stage of the League Cup, depending on what happens against Nottingham Forest. So, excuse me. So, moving forward, ENIC, Levy, put your hands in your pockets, back him. Once they've backed him, Conte, put your pen to paper and sign a new contract. This fan, not all fans, this fan needs to see both of those things happen before I get on board. At the moment, I don't think anything's changed at Tottenham. A few lucky wins doesn't change my mind. Sign a few better players, get Conte signing up, and then I get on board with this project. It's not about me, but for me, my own personal opinion is that. So all in all, fantastic to get through last night. We move forward to Liverpool. We'll talk about that. It's only Wednesday. We'll talk about that Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But let's see. Can we now start our next game, how we end games? Let's start seeing that. All in all, great to be through. Last 16 in the Champions League. We'll know by tonight who are the options that we can get. I think there's only 5 or 6 that we can get because of second place teams in and stuff. So look, let's see. Positive stuff. Much love. Please like, please subscribe, and thank you for all your continued support. See you later. Bye-bye.